All right, let's clap it up. Shalom, Israel. We are at the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, since 1969, under Commander General Yohana. We are here to edify the so-called Blacks, Latino, and Native American man, woman, and child. And tonight is the Wednesday night law class. And tonight we're going to go over the wicked ways of Esau. We're going to find out who Esau is. Esau is the biblical name for the so-called white people, Edomites. You know what I'm saying? The white people, the white man that the Bible speaks of, the greatest deceiver that's ever walked the planet of Earth. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to get into it. And, because, our people, we're at war and we don't even know it. 2026, we have so far that we know of 6 so-called Black people have been hung. And all of them were, they said they had unalived themselves, and that's the thing. We don't know that we're at war, so we got to bring this stuff to light, man, and show you that these people have been our enemies and they're always going to be our enemies. Just because you got a friend or two, that's white, so-called white people, what have you, that's, let's say if one saved your life one time or something like that, right? That's all fine and dandy, man, but you got to still acknowledge your people, and be for your people and not disregard what's happening to your people from their people. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line, like if you go to the penitentiary, let's say both of y'all went to the penitentiary, this white dude saved your life, y'all gonna get some get right. Y'all gonna get some act right. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna go over there, that white dude gonna be like, oh, I belong over that side. You're gonna be like, oh, the black man, so-called black man gonna be like, oh, I belong to that side. And y'all get right. You know what I'm saying? Y'all not gonna say, oh no, we gonna stick together and we gonna die together. Y'all ain't gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? So, we gotta wake up, man. We gotta wake our people up, man. You could be, cordial, whatever, but just, be the scriptures say, be surety of your friend, and, we're at a time to where these people are showing us their true colors, man. They've been showing, well, for us that understand, we've been I've been understanding, hey, these people are wicked, man. Bottom line. Yeah, I had some white friends, what have you, associates, whatever, but, I kept them at arm's length. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line, I still knew what type of people they were. I used to watch, movies and stuff, Viking movies and just movies in general. And they did vile stuff, and one thing, was, put so-called Black people into captivity. You know what I'm saying? When I first saw Roots, in the 80s, or late 70s, what have you, when I saw it. You know what I'm saying? That shocked the hell out of me, and I was young. And I've been, seeing just, throughout the news, because they're gonna cover a lot of stuff up, man. If they showed us everything that Esau did, the so-called white man does, you know what I'm saying? It probably will change your mind about these people, you know what I'm saying? But some of us are lost, we just lost, man. You know what I'm saying? Like we, these scriptures, especially we're gonna go into the book of Obadiah. It clearly tells you, these are prophecies right here. This is the Most High's prophecies, man. His words right here. You know what I'm saying? We the men of the Lord, you know what I'm saying? The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we prophets of today, you know what I'm saying? We bring out everything that the Most High put in this book right here and bring it to light to our people to wake them up, Obadiah, like I said, fits them to a T, and if you especially, take that into a Christian church, a so-called Black Christian church, they'd be like, no, that's not them. That's not what that means. You know what I'm saying? Because they so destroyed, and they destroyed because You know, of course, they got a lack of knowledge, but they fear their oppressor. You know, and that's what they did to us in slavery. The majority of us, what I'm saying, they beat, fear into us. You know what I'm saying? So we still have a lot of our people out there, in the Christian church, what I'm saying, they're in denial, but it's out of fear, what I'm saying? And a lot of it, it's just ignorance. I mean, and then our people, are blinded by the Most High because of straight stupidity. Straight stupidity. Because like for instance, like the reason why I say that is because we got people out there that still wear, so-called black people that still wear a MAGA hat. Make America great again, right? You know what I'm saying? And the irony in that, that's crazy. That's crazy. This is what I'm talking about, stupidity. You talking about, this person talking about make America great again. I mean, do you realize how America became great? Off the backs of slaves. That's how it became great. You talking about making America great again. There has never been a time to where America was great for so-called black people. Bottom line, man. And that's what I'm talking about, the stupidity of our people, man. And they come against us and fight against us all day long for who? The so-called white man. But we're going to get into the Bible, tonight about the, this oppressor, this vile beast. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to start in. And I mean, and really, this is for the people, somebody out there, what I'm saying, that's, haven't came into the truth, don't know who they are yet, what I'm saying, still lost, what I'm saying, for them to wake up. Because we got a lot of our people out there, they just don't want to wake up, man, because they want to remain evil. They want to remain just like the oppressor, vile. You know what I'm saying? Sluggy. But this is for the people that want to hear this, man. Our people that need to wake up out there, so-called Black, Latino, Native. Well, we're gonna start in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 9. Okay. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be. And look, we've been in captivity. When they brought us over here, we've been in captivity, man. Bottom line. I mean, Israel, Israel itself, what I'm saying? We've been in captivity, throughout, from Egypt, the Assyrians, Moabites, what have you, so on and so forth. And this is our last captivity right here called America. What I'm saying? Modern day, spiritually known as Egypt, which means synonymous with bondage, right? What I'm saying? But, what I'm saying? We've been in captivity. If you don't think you a slave right now, what I'm saying? Try to take your ass, just walk, or get in the boat and try to just leave. Think you a free man. They gonna show you ain't free. You know what I'm saying? I know you know your social security number by heart. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line. I mean, you're not free. But take it from the top. The Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be. You know what I'm saying? And we've been slaves. You know what I'm saying? The so-called Black, Latino, and Native Americans up in this camp under these oppressors called so-called white people, Edomites in the Bible, Esau in the Bible. That's who they are. Let me see. And that which is done is that which shall be done. Okay. I mean, wait. Let me read that again. And there, it's lucky. And that which is done is that which shall be done. You know what I'm saying? What did they do when they brought us over here? Even before Egypt, you know what I'm saying? They've been unaliving us, fed our children to alligators in Egypt. What they do over here, they fed our children to alligators. You know what I'm saying? They unalived us. You know what I'm saying? This is what they do, and they're still doing it to this day. Put that together right there. Okay. Now, let's get some more. And there is no new thing under the sun. There you go, right there. There's no new thing under the sun, man. These people have been our enemies. That's why they unalive us, man. And they act like, you know, everything is, you know, it's one big melting pot. Everybody's holding hands. You know, we all one big happy family or what have you. And our people are dumbed down. They sleep, man. And you got to wake up and understand that these people aren't your friends, man. They're your enemies. This is who they are. There's nothing new under the sun. They brought us over here into captivity. You know what I'm saying? And they've been unaliving us, and they're still unaliving us. Right? But let's go ahead and get some more. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 7. Ecclesiastes chapter 7. Chapter 7 and chapter 7 and 13. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 13. 7 and verse 13. Consider the work of God, for who can make that straight which he hath made crooked? You know, you cannot fix the so-called white people, man. So-called white man, so-called white woman. You can't fix them, man. They are who they are because the Most High created them like that. He created them like that, and we're going to find that out. This is what he did. You can't straighten them out, so-called Black, Latino, and Native. You cannot do that, man. Because you can't go against the Most High. He said, who can make that straight which he had made crooked? They have been crooked. And if you think they're not, you are in denial. You are a fool. That's what you are. You know? Hey, shalom, Lord. Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah. To Officer 50, Izarwan checking in. Shalom, you know, shalom to Trooper Nabakar. You know what I'm saying? Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah. And shalom, Yahweh Shamar Alatah by Hashem Yahushua to my rib. You know, all right. The water checking in. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, let's read it from the top. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 13. Consider the work of God, for who can make that straight which he had made crooked? You know, a people that kidnap a whole nation of people, bring them over far from their border, make them slave, make them pick cotton, they whip their backs, grape their little children and their fathers, graped everybody. You know, let's just put it like that. You know what I'm saying? Graped everybody. They made it, they made it us like we were animals. I mean, just did some, you know, vile things, man. You can't even call them humans. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, and it says that, as a matter of fact, you know, they're not a people. He said, the Most High said they're not a people because he created them to be vile like that, man. Bottom line. You know, yeah, okay, there's some good ones out there, what have you. You know what I'm saying? But, and they want to mind their own business. They were born, looked at history and was like, damn, I'm part of these people. Man, I'm ashamed. How do I know that? Because some of them come and kiss our boots. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yahweh Shamar Lataba Hashem Yahushua to rib and property of Officer Azirwan. What I says for checking in. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like I said, they got some good ones out there, but we don't have time for that, man. We gotta come together. O nation not desired. And that's the so-called Black Latino natives. You know what I'm saying? Here it is. Our little girls, man, are getting pregnant up over there in the ICE agent, ICE concentration things. You know what I'm saying? Concentration camps. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line, how are they getting pregnant, right? By a vile beast called Esau. That's how they're getting pregnant. You know, the so-called Mexican little Mexican girls. You know what I'm saying? Getting pregnant. Because they vile beasts. This is what they do, man. They're what would you call sexual deviants. The true sexual deviants. This is who they are, man. We got to wake up, man. We got to save people like Nolan Wells, man. Get them away from these people, man. You feel you have to hang around with it, man? I mean, come on, man. You risking it's a 50-50. You gambling with your life. Especially nowadays. And the thing is, you know, it's not even funny. I mean, I'm not saying like I'm happy and shit, you know what I'm saying? What have you, Salaki. But our people gotta, you know, they gotta see this. They gotta wake up, because I've been saying it. It's it's only gonna get worse. And you know, and people like Nolan Wells and you know everybody else, you know what I'm saying? I can't get think of the names right now, but hey man, they're the Most High is making them an example, and all the others before him. Because we gotta wake up, man. If you want to sit there and party with these people as if they the greatest people ever, you know what I'm saying? Like crazy. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, whatever, last week, what have you. You know what I'm saying? Like nigga, find some nerds, nigga, that you want to hang around with that's so-called Black, Latino, whatever, if you don't want to hang around with your own kind. You know, because they, you know, because we destroy for lack of knowledge, we oppressed and stuff like that. We wild bulls in the net. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we wild. We fight amongst each other and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But there's some nerds out there like Urkel. You know what I'm saying? You could go online. All you can find everything online nowadays. Nerdy Black people, type it in. You come to find out, you know, they like the same shit you like. Log it. This book of let's go to Isaiah 45. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, you know what I'm saying, in the scriptures, there's nothing new under the sun, man. You know, and you know, we're gonna get down to it, man, on why the Most High created these people. Let's see, what else say? Isaiah 45. Isaiah 45. Isaiah 45 and 7. Isaiah 45 and 7. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 7. I form the light, right? And create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. That's what the Most High said. Now we can take this and flip it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to look at, let's just look at light. You know what I'm saying? You come into the light, you know what I'm saying? You could come into the, you know, with the light, it could be about the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? It can lighten your knowledge for who you are, bring you back to your heritage, what have you. You know what I'm saying? You could just come to the light just by these scriptures, by doing right. You know, following these laws, statutes, and commandments, come to the light. You know, or you can come to the light and see who your enemy is. You know what I'm saying? You know, let's say let's hypothetical without the scriptures, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, man, you know, come to the light and be like, man, yeah, these fools right here, they've been doing our people dirty. And you might not even know the scriptures. Like I said, I watch Roots, you know, what have you. I never was like, oh, I need to be a white, you know, I gotta have a white friend. It ain't never been me. You know what I'm saying? I'll say with my own kind. You know what I'm saying? And then nigga end up, you know, sometimes moved into a white neighborhood and stuff like that, whatever. You feel me? But hey, shit. Yeah, I was on point, you know what I'm saying, with these cats, you know. But I mean, that you could take that light in many different ways, you know what I'm saying? But that light for the most high is these scriptures right here, bottom line. You know what I'm saying? And he said, what? I create darkness. Same thing with the darkness. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be wicked, let's say, so-called Black, Latino, Native, you know what I'm saying? Y'all want to stay wicked. Y'all want to be wicked. Y'all want to be like the oppressor. Y'all want to join hands with these oppressors. You know what I'm saying? The Most High gonna bring darkness to you. That's what's gonna happen. You gonna stay in the dark, man, and and then you wanna disregard his law, statutes, and commandments. You're gonna be in the dark, man. You gonna wonder why your lights are getting turned off because you can't pay the rent, because you can't pay the PG&E bill, because you can't pay the water bill, what have you. He gonna have you in the dark because you live in wicked darkness. You want to be a dark individual. Like I said, we can flip this right here. You know what I'm saying? And he said, I create peace, right? Now you come to that light, what would you have? You're going to have peace. You know what I'm saying? It says in Proverbs, I forgot where it is, but if a man's ways please the Lord, even his enemies would be cool with him. I'm paraphrasing. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we still gonna get, we still gonna get this shit, you know what I'm saying, what have you, because we trying to wake up our people, and we in spiritual warfare. So we still gonna go through our things that we go through and everything like that, but we understand why we going through this. And it helps you greatly. You got people that, get it out there and be, tormented by these heathens on daily out there in roads and stuff like that. Next thing you know, they snap. Next thing you know, they snap. What they do? Take matters in their own hands. Next thing you know, they doing life. Now they in darkness in that pen. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to survive. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But he said he creates peace. He created light, he created darkness, and he creates peace. And you know what else he does? Well, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? He says, I create light, I create darkness, and I make peace. And I create evil. He created evil. He created Esau, aka the white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. He created him. Why? We're gonna get it. We're gonna get into these scriptures on why he created that vile beast. You know what I'm saying? He said he created evil, and we know these people are evil, man, collectively. Like I said, there's some ones out there that don't want to be a part of their people. They ashamed of their people. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes down to it, let's say, hypothetical again, right? You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to it, let's say if, we have it's not even going to be an if because it's in the Bible, but nation's going to be against nation, right? Just say black and white. You know what I'm saying? Like the good ones, let's say the good ones of Edomites, so-called white people, they're not gonna, like run to the black people. It's like us and stuff. You got 50 poisonous snakes, 50 non-poisonous snakes. We're not gonna run to them damn snakes. So they're not gonna run to us. They're gonna run to their people. You know what I'm saying? They gonna, they gonna get they think, they know this already too. You know what I'm saying? We so-called black, you know what I'm saying? We the dumb ones. You have a percentage of niggas trying to run with Esau, you know what I'm saying, in that day, thinking they'd be safe with them. Yeah, and that's how dumb we are. We laced with stupidity, bottom line, man. Like I said, with that MAGA hat, like, how can you walk out the house, make America great again? But then again, I know how, because they fear, they scared, and they want people to love them because they've never been loved, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we have been destroyed. So our people have been destroyed. But let's go to Leviticus. Like I said, we're gonna understand why the Most High, put these people, these people out here, to be evil. You know what I'm saying? Because our people, he told us, He told us, if you don't listen, well, we're gonna get it. Let's go to Leviticus 26. It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 26. You know, and this is a punishment for disobedience. Who disobeyed the Most High? Israelites, so-called Black, Latino, and Native. That's why you discontinue from your heritage. You know, you want to do what you want to do. You want to be like the other nations, the heathens. That's how you want to live. You didn't want to abide by these law, statutes, and commandments. It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verse 14. And it's called punishments for disobedience. This is what it's called, right? But if ye will not hearken unto me and will not do all these commandments. And then the white man, so-called white man, what they did was, you know, they didn't allow us to read for hundreds of years, right? You know, I don't know the exact, you know, number, but let's just say 100. Let's say 100 of years. So now they started teaching the Negroes, you know what I'm saying, to read the Bible, right? You know, and then now, I bet you it was a surprise too. You know, they didn't announce it. There wasn't no bulletin or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? They were like, the Negro got up, started reading the Bible in front of other so-called Black folks, and they was in awe. They was shocked. Bottom line, and this is what they did, man. You know, this is what they did, man. And now what they did, they taught them to teach us that these laws are done away with. These commandments are done away with, man. And that's why we destroyed, man, because that was their whole agenda, was to destroy the Most High's chosen people. There ain't nothing else. And, you know, they killing two birds with one stone. They getting their money, you know what I'm saying, living their life, you know what I'm saying, you know, they vile life. Like, you know, Epstein Island isn't the only island. They got other islands, you know what I'm saying. They got places like Epstein Islands right here on this continent, right here. Everywhere else, Esau want to do his vile, you know, shit. Just ask the kids that they're from Disney. You know what I'm saying? That's just not funny, you know, but shit. Unless it was Edomites, well, it still ain't funny. You know what I'm saying? That's you know, it's vile what you know, doing that to children, man. Even if they are Edomites, you know what I'm saying? And look at them Edomites do it to their own children, man. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. You know, but let's get back to it. You know, Leviticus chapter 26, verse 14. But if ye will not hearken unto me and will not do all these commandments, that's what the Most High said. Verse 15. And if ye shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgments, so that ye will not do all my commandments, but that ye break my commandments. Verse 16. I also will do this unto you. This is what he said he's going to do unto you. I will even appoint over you terror. You know, I mean, let's talk about terror, man. You know, there's some, you know, books I read, you know, where, you know, they found slaves, man, with their intestines, you know, wrapped around their bodies. Yeah, the intestines is 25 feet, I believe. You know what I'm saying? Intestines wrapped around their body. It's because they vile people, man. This is what they were doing. Look, I'm telling you, watch Viking movies. If you haven't watched them, look what they did to their own kind. So you know what they're going to do to us. You know what I'm saying? Talk about terror right there, man. There was two women slaves, man. They, you know, the so-called, like, I guess you could call them, you know, like something like CPS or something like that, right? You know what I'm saying? But with slaves back in those days, right? They came and see how the slaves were doing, you know what I'm saying? As if they were concerned and shit, really, you know. But they came in there and found these two women, man, and they had the yoke of iron on their necks and on their legs and stuff like that. and the iron was embedded into their skin, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just, it was crazy, man. You know, uh, just having an old lady, man. I always talk about this because it messed me up when I first heard it, man. But having a low old lady tied up in a chair in back of a horse, and they brand the horse, and the horse, feel the presence of somebody being behind him because that's where he's being branded. He kicks her in the chest, man. Kill an old lady, man. You know what I'm saying? That's terror. Putting somebody in a barrel with nails, man, and rolling them down a hill. That's terror, man. Let's talk about, in the 60s, shit, 50s, 60s, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Going to your house, going to their house, man, putting a cross, a burning cross on their front lawn, taking them out the house, man. You know what I'm saying? And hanging them. That's terror. Now, if you don't think you God's chosen people, man, you a fool. Bottom line, man. Let's read it from the top. Verse 16. I also will do this unto you, so-called Black, Latino, and Native. I will even appoint over you terror, consumption, and the burning ague that shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of heart. And ye shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemies shall eat it. Who is the white man? Your enemies. That's who they are, man. Bottom line. They dwindling away, you know what I'm saying? So they're going to give the other nations, so-called East Indians, Asians, so on and so forth. They going to, hey, y'all come over here and, fill in the gaps because they dwindling away. They can't even reproduce. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line. Because they know you are God's chosen people. These other nations, the heathens, they know you are God's chosen people. They are confederate against thee. And it names everybody over there in Psalms 83 that are confederate against you. Verse 17. And I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies. And that's like we're being slain before our enemies today, man. Going out on the boat, surrounded by Edomites in the water, just chilling, thinking you cool and stuff like that, or what have you. They have the audacity, I don't know if it's true, but to talk to one of their girls, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, come on now. You're tripping. And look at what happened to Nolan Wells, man. Enemies. They that hate you shall reign over you. Do they not reign over us today? They've been reigning over us since we've been over here, man. You know what I'm saying? Like they dictate everything we do, where we live, how we eat. Bottom line, man. And ye shall flee when none pursueth you. Terror. That's what that is, man. Straight terror. I mean, just think about when you it says you will flee when no one man pursueth you. Well, man, when the cops get behind you and flash their lights, you're like, man, heart drop. I think my heart dropped probably a couple of times. Maybe I was under the influence. You know what I'm saying? Well, other than that, I'll be talking shit, be cool as shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, on point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I told, hey, niggas probably won't believe this shit. You know what I'm saying? But my youngest brother is a witness. But I told the police to pull over. and the funny thing about it, he was trying to give my rib a ticket. You know, she was in separate cars. We were in separate cars going to a fishing spot. You know what I'm saying? And she was over there trying to do her thing and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, look at her trying to drive. I'm right behind her. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I look in the rear view, police right behind me doing the same thing I'm doing. I'm just a step ahead of him. That's all it is. He gets all the way to the left side on the shoulder. I'm on 101 in San Jose. You know what I'm saying? He looking at me like, man, what the F? That's what he's saying. Man, what the F? And I look at him. I said, pull over. Pull over. You know, I don't know what was going on in my head. My uncle didn't even believe me when I told him that. He said, you ain't say that. Yeah. That's what he said. I was like, hey, that's a true story. You know what I'm saying? That he went off. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, when that was happening, my rib was telling my kids that was in the car with her that, okay, guys, I'm about to get pulled over. You know what I'm saying? True story. True ass story right there. Old boy just took off and he left. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, shit, all right, well, guess it's all good. I guess he respected driving or something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because I was right ahead of him. Yep. True story. You know? But verse 18, let's get back to it. Verse 18. And if ye will not yet for all this hearken unto me, then I will punish you 7 times more for your sins. Verse 19, and I will break the pride of your power, and I will make your heavens as iron. You know what I'm saying? You over here looking up, you know, I mean, just think about it when we were on the auction blocks. You know what I'm saying? He said he would break the pride of our power, right? We had no power in our hands. You know what I'm saying? To get our kids, we got them on, they looking at your kid, man, getting taken away by a white devil, man. And just think, man, you know, you thinking all the crazy stuff, man. Like, damn, which pretty much happened, man. Sometimes they probably went to a decent ass white person that didn't want to grape them. You know what I'm saying? But just think about that. Even that, though, your kid being taken away from you, man. This is us, man. So-called Black, Latino, and Native. This is us in this Bible right here, man. And if you don't want to listen to these laws, statutes, and commandments and hearken to the prophets of the day, you know what I'm saying? Man, it's going to be bad for you. Bottom line, if you're doing it intentionally, saying F us or they don't know what they're talking about, hey, I ain't going to say nothing else, man. All right, because I don't wish nothing on you because I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? So-called Black, Latino, and Natives, man, you know. But some of y'all, man, you know, hey, vengeance is of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? But like you press up on me, man, I wouldn't hesitate to put hands on your ass. You know what I'm saying? I won't take your life, but I would love to put hands on you because out of the stupidity of your ass. You know what I'm saying? Just put hands on you, beat you the worst way. I'll slap you till your cheeks get raw. You know? But and I would do it for all the little kids that got raped by the person you trying to protect. That's where I'm fighting from. That's where my heart fighting from. That's where I'm fighting from, right there. Anyways, verse 20, and your strength shall be spent in vain, for your land shall not yield her increase, neither shall the trees of the land yield their fruits. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it said your strength shall be spent in vain. You know, I forgot what damn, I gotta, you know what I'm saying, with the two marks right there. I forgot my punctuation marks and shit. But you know, you could stop right there. You know, those two periods, you could stop right there and then it continues, right? But we're gonna stop right there. What it say? And your strength shall be spent in vain. We have no strength in our hands, man. Think about it, man. Like, really, if there was no such thing as guns, like, come on, man. And then, hey, look, if it was just head up, look, they all had to, you know, the so-called white man, so-called Africans, you know what I'm saying? The real Africans, you know what I'm saying? Nigerians and shit, Ethiopians, you know, Libyans or whatever, you know what I'm saying? All them, you know, I don't know. There's so many names and shit. You know what I'm saying? So many tribes. They got the biggest tribes. All you got to do is read Genesis 10, which we gonna go there later. But you know what I'm saying? Then you got the East Indians. We had so many tribes against us. You know what I'm saying? So, and they were really, and then we split, you know what I'm saying? The Northern Kingdom went here, the Southern Kingdom went there, you know what I'm saying? So they, you know, they split us, you know, divide and conquer. That's what it was. You know what I'm saying? Just like they divide us today. You know what I'm saying? But if it was, look, the white man can't deal with us, man, with no guns. They can't deal with us. Our strength, man. What to say? Make Judah's hand sufficient from his enemies. You know what I'm saying? I think it was in Exodus somewhere. They can't see us, man. Straight up, man. Let's get the you know. Let's get, you know. I'm being carnal right now. Let's get our Urkels in their Urkels and shit, and put it. You know, we gonna win. You know what I'm saying? They might have one or two or whatever to get one of ours. You know what I'm saying? I'd love to see that. You know, just like they have heavyweight, lightweight, featherweight, what have you. We gonna have the nerds. You know what I'm saying? They still won't be able to get with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what they like to do? They like to, they want to, you know, not match, you know, they leave it up to them, because this is what they do. You know what I'm saying? They have a 300-pound man try to go up against a 100-pound man. You know what I'm saying? Black man. But shit, we got niggas like Tyson. Like, hey, Tyson, go get that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You see what King David did to Goliath? You know what I'm saying? Bottom line. You know, but that's what they do, man. They cowards, man. They always been cowards. They couldn't build this place by themselves. They wouldn't have been able to, they wouldn't have been great. They're only great because of us. Real talk, man. Let's get some more, man. Let's hit on that. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 50. Deuteronomy 28 and 50. It's Deuteronomy 28 and 50. And this is more attributes for the so-called white man, aka Edomites, Esau. This is who they are. It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard a person of the old, nor show favor to the young. You know, I just brought it out. You know, they were feeding our babies to alligators, man. You know, alligator bait. You know, just years ago, what, like 2 years, 3 years, I don't know how long ago, but you know how they got Florida Gators, you know, saying the college football team, you know, supposedly, you know, they, you know how they do this? That was supposed to be no go anymore because of the history of gator bait. If you could go to Florida, go to some certain stores and stuff like that, you know, mom and pop stores, whatever, they got little statues, whatever, of gator, you know, kids, you know, like biting their butt or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Gator bait. Actual stores, man. You know, stores like that, right? You know what I'm saying? Gator bait. You should catch gators with our babies, man. We'll not regard the young nor the old, man. And you heard what I said about the older lady, you know what I'm saying? Elderly lady, you know what I'm saying? Being kicked in the chest by a horse. You know, years back, and it's on YouTube. As a matter of fact, I just don't know the title of it, but there was a 80-year-old lady. She had a knife, you know, so-called black lady. You know what I'm saying? It was a white cop, a female cop. You know, and she's and you could tell she just wanted to do this move. She's probably been practicing this shit in karate or something like that. And she, there's black people around and everything like that. And this old lady had a knife. She 80 years old, man. 80 years old. And she was able to, get her and, man, threw her down there. She busted her head, man. It's on YouTube. It's somewhere out there on YouTube, man. Yeah. And, none of us, we didn't do shit. We just sat there. Man, I'll tell you, I can't be there. I cannot be there because I would have beat that woman to shit, man. And I would have died that day. Yeah. Just to see that, to an old lady like that, man. Yeah. I wouldn't even know that old lady. You know what I'm saying? This is just like, just because, man, like, I know my blood I just would have went crazy. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line. And yeah, I know, it's probably, judgment on that lady. She probably did something heinous back in the day to endure something like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that rabbit hole goes deep. You know what I'm saying? Or what have you. But yeah, but this is how treacherous they are, man. This is how treacherous these people are, man. Girl slammed a 80-year-old Judite woman, man, so-called black woman. And like I said, man, they fed our babies to gators, man. And then you had, just what the lady, saying the nurse breaking the limbs of babies, newborns and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Just last year before last, I don't know. Who was she doing it to? Our kids. Because why? Let's read it from the top. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. Bottom line. This is them, man. Bottom line. All right, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Barakatah, to Trooper Adam, checking in from Greenville, South Carolina. That's what's up, man. You know what I'm saying? Shalom. Speaking of South Carolina, man, you had Cyrus, our young man, 14-year-old Cyrus Belton. You know what I'm saying? The Asians got the green light on him, chased him down and shot him in the back, you know what I'm saying, for a bottle of water. You know what I'm saying? Because them Asians, they come from nothing. You know what I'm saying? Crabs in a barrel. Watch their movies. They fight over a chicken bone. They fight over a dog bone, nigga. You know what I'm saying? A bone, no meat on it, just a bone. Hey, they don't want to make the movies. I didn't make the movie. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line. Shit. Anyways, let's get some more of this. Let's go to Genesis 25 because we're gonna get to the attributes, man, and the description of Edom. Because, like I said, even though it's gonna fit them to the T, but our people won't. Some of our people they're not gonna put two and two together. They don't know how to put puzzles together or something. I don't know what it is. Or they just love the oppressor. You know what I'm saying? We love to be oppressed. We have what did I say last time? PTSD, post-traumatic slave disorder. You know what I'm saying? That's what we got, man. I got that out of a book, man. I forgot the name of the book. It's by what's her name? Joyce DeGruy, I think it is. If I said her name correctly, but that's what it is. I don't think it is. I know it is, but I don't know if I said her name correctly. But let's go to Genesis 25. This is a description of Esau. This is the book of Genesis 25, starting at verse 25. And the first came out red, all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Now, we seen it on TV. I ain't never seen it in person, but I have seen a judge in person that was, you know what I'm saying? I went into that courtroom, man, and that motherfucker was bloodshot red. The judge, that nigga was bloodshot red, man. I've never seen anything like that in person. I mean, surely he was suffocating. He was about to die or something. I don't know what it was. But man, he was red. But you ever see a baby, you know what I'm saying? Especially when they get drunk, when they blush or what have you, when a baby being born, you know what I'm saying? They come out red, you know? For real, bottom line, man. They come out red. When they cold, they red. You know, because they sure in the hell isn't white. Because if we actually saw somebody that's white, that white as we know is white, you know what I'm saying, as we was taught in elementary is white, nigga, please, you'll probably have a heart attack. Bottom line, man. Bottom line, nigga, seeing somebody like, oh shit, like, yeah, you would die right there on the spot. You know, once again from the top, it's book of Genesis 25 and 25. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they hairy as well. This is a dual prophecy right here. You know what I'm saying? If a white man don't cut his hair, they're gonna look just like the motherfucker, the sluggy, the people, the thing that they taught us in school, and that was a caveman. You know what I'm saying? That's who they were talking about. When they're talking about cavemen, cave people, you know what I'm saying? That's them. They have hair all over. They have hair. If they went, you didn't cut, didn't shave, real. That's who they be, man. Verse 27. Skip down to verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. I mean, you know, cunning is, you know, there's trickery, you know, real slick with it. You know what I'm saying? Like careful, meticulous when it comes to hunting. Like as in pouring piss on themselves, you know what I'm saying? Deer piss, you know what I'm saying? Bear piss, whatever kind of piss they're hunting for. You know what I'm saying? They pour human piss on them. They so vile because they lie in wait and they hunt for us. They hunt our streets. You know what I'm saying? They hunt us in the streets, right? These people are vile, man. And they sit in a tree for hours just to get that kill because they're cunning hunters. This is what they do, man. Just this alone. I mean, just this alone right here with me, a person like me, if, you know, shit, back in the 90s, I wish I would have came across this. I was like, damn, what? You sent this wife up? Nigga, please, that is them. Like, you ain't got to say no more. No more. Bottom line. Bottom freaking line, man. A cunning hunter. That's what he is, man. A man of the field. They love to hunt. This is who these people are, man. You know? Come on, let's go ahead and get some more of this. Let's go to Genesis 39. Genesis 36. Book of Genesis, chapter 36. Let's see where we at. Genesis chapter 36 and 9. We're going to start at 9. It's the book of Genesis chapter 36 and 9. It's more of Esau. Like I said, we're talking about Esau, our enemy, man. The oppressor. The devil that the devil that the Bible speak of, man, the so-called white man. You know what I'm saying? This book of Genesis, chapter 36, verse 9. And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. They just happen to live in Mount Seir, you know, mountains. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we're going to jump down to 15. Jump down to 15. Verse 15. These were dukes of the sons of Esau. Now, I ask you one question. Who do we know that call themselves dukes? Sure in the hell ain't Asians. It's not East Indians. It's not dirty ass Hamite Africans. Who called themselves dukes, man? It's not us. No Latino call themselves dukes. This is in the Bible. Right here. Esau they call themselves dukes. Right? Listen, hold on. I got it right here. We're gonna read what a duke is. Let's see. All right. It's a duke. This is in the Hebrew, it's aloof. That's what it is. In Hebrew, it's aloof. Okay. And the definition, gentle. That's the first definition. Who calls themselves gentlemen? Oh, he's a gentleman. You know what I'm saying? It's white folks. Gentleman. He's a gentle man. We didn't. English is in our language. You know what I'm saying? It means gentle. That's what it means, right? Gentle man, right? Well, it's in the Hebrew. You know, this is their definition right here in the Hebrew. Gentle man. We surely that's not a Hebrew because we ain't gentle. I mean, shit. When it comes to a female, nigga, we rough, nigga. We men. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line, you know, gentle man. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line, man. Number two, a chieftain. You know what I'm saying? You know, the white man think he a chief. You know, bottom line, he think he, you know what I'm saying? Chief, I was about to say number three, captain. You know what I'm saying? The captain of a ship. You know what I'm saying? He's a captain. You know what I'm saying? That's number three, right? Number four, governor. That's what a duke is in Hebrew. Governor. That's what they say. Governor. Who's throwing our babies in cages, man? The so-called Mexicans in cages, man. Iskar in the Bible. Who throwing our babies in cages, man? Our little girls, man, where they have females 12 and under in cages, man, and getting them pregnant and stuff like that, man. I was gonna say our government. This government, governor, government. That's what it means. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is duke in the English dictionary right here. A sovereign, number one, sovereign ruler of a continental European duchy, whatever a duchy is. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a ruler for you know, over there in Europe and shit. But at Europe, the continental continent of Europe, you know what I'm saying? What have you? European is Europe, Esau, Edom, you know what I'm saying? What have you, right? Verse 2, a noble man of highest rank. You can't tell Esau, white man, he ain't noble. You know what I'm saying? Come on, you know, come on, man. What they say? You can't make this shit up, man. You feel me? Like verse 3, a member of the highest grade of the British, who brought us over into slavery, British peerage. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Let's see what a peerage is. But it is a member of the highest grade of the British peerage. This is everything that you get from Duke. That's in the Bible right here. Esau called themselves dukes. Ain't nobody else called themselves dukes but Esau in this book. Peerage. A peerage is the rank or title of a noble man or noble woman, such as a duke, earl. You remember that? What was that? But I think that was Duke of Earl. I think that was about Latinos and shit. You know what I'm saying? They just call it Duke of Earl. It was like a play or something like that. Or a baron. It also means the whole group of the people who hold these high social titles, or a book that lists their family histories. Especially like the Prince Harry's and shit. You know what I'm saying, over there in Europe, Queen Elizabeth, all that stuff like that. Because we sure in the hell ain't calling ourselves dukes. You know what I'm saying? This doesn't pertain to so-called Black, Latino, natives. It just doesn't. You know what I'm saying? This is the white man that's in the Bible right here, Esau. I mean, shit. Like I said, there's gonna be people out there that's just not gonna, hearken. They're not gonna hear this message right here, man. They ain't gonna want to hear it because why? They just want to be friends with white people, and because I mean, my own grandmother, man, what I'm saying, may she rest in peace, man. She even said, she told me earlier, she didn't like to live by black folks. She didn't have no understanding, on why we are the way we are. You know what I'm saying? She would rather just be, away from them. This is what she told me, man. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, before I came into the ISUPK, I told her, I said, Grandma, why you got that white Jesus on your wall? You know what I'm saying? I told her this. You know what I'm saying? We said that. She said, because I like it. That's what she told me. I said, nah, you got to have more. You got to have another reason because of, other than that. You know what I'm saying? And then she had the Last Supper. I showed her, why is there 2 women right there? It's supposed to be 12 disciples. You know what I'm saying? She started looking at, saying, next thing you know, she took that shit down, man. Most High Christ. You know what I'm saying? She took it down. Well, but she was destroyed, man. She was destroyed. She from Texas, you know what I'm saying? And she went through some shit, man. She went through some shit, man, because Pops is going through it. He had to go out there and get called, this and that, nigga, whatever, like that. You know what I'm saying? He'd come back and take it out on the family, just like the majority of our people did, man. That's how they destroyed us. That's how they destroyed us, man. All you got to do is listen to read the Willie Lynch, you know what I'm saying, letters and stuff like that, man. These people studied us, man. And why? Because we read it, the Most High. He said, if you don't hearken to these laws, statutes, and commandments, he gonna put these enemies on us, man. This is what he did and destroyed us. But they got carried away. Don't think, what I'm saying? Don't think that, so therefore, it's you guys were supposed to go through this. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, they kept their foot on our necks, man. When our iniquity was at an end, our sin was at an end, they said, nah, we gonna keep doing this. We gonna keep doing this. This is what they did, man, because they evil, But let's go, where we at? Let's go to Genesis 27. More on Esau, man, because like I said, tonight is about Esau. Trying to wake our people up to get away from this vile beast, and they're still here, man. The Christian church will tell you that these people don't exist. They will tell you Moabites don't exist anymore. They'll tell you Elam doesn't exist anymore. Ethiopians it's in the Bible. Arabs, it's in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Ishmael. You could actually do research and find, connect dots and stuff like that on certain things, right? You know what I'm saying? But these people are still here, man. They didn't go anywhere. They just changed their names. Hold on. Sergeant Chandler. Judah sings Duke. Oh, Slovakia. This is my rib. Slovakia. Sir Gene Chandler, Judite, sings Duke of Earl. And the movie Duke of Earl, is with Issacharites. Yeah, okay. Oh, what year? You know what I'm saying? What year was that? You know, what I'm saying? I mean, like, they probably, Gene Chandler, he probably read some history and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? He took the, he took the torch. He was like, oh, hey, Duke of Earl, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. I don't know. I gotta hear the actual lyrics. What are you talking about? That's all I know. Duke of Earl. That's all I know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what he was talking about. But they did do a play, right? Duke of Earl with the Issacharites, Issachar, so-called Mexicans, right? 1961 was the song. Okay, the water. So 1961, yeah, that Duke of Earl shit. Anyway, Dukes, that has nothing to do with us. That's Esau. Straight up. I just read the history to you. That's Esau, man. That has nothing to do with us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you want to say put up your dukes, you know what I'm saying? Like, fighting and shit like that, whatever. That's slang. The dukes is slang. Duke, put up your dukes is slang. But let's go to Genesis 27. Genesis 27. 27 starting at 38. We're going to get more of Esau's attributes, his identity, right? It's the book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. We're not going to get into the whole story. Just follow this right here. Verse 39. And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. We said his dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. Let's use slang with that. Nigga gonna be living fat. Fatness of the earth? Really? The earth? Nigga living fat. That's what that means. Living fat. You know what I'm saying? He owns everything. He's everywhere. Dictating everything. Even the countries that don't like him, he's over there in the embassies. Like, for real. And they stay there too. They stay there, knowing that they people is in harm's way. They could blow up that building anytime, but they sit right there, stay right there. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it from the top. 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. Who was the first ones to go up to the moon? Put their little flag up there, you know what I'm saying? Esau. You know what I'm saying? 1969. The eagle has landed, their favorite bird. Let me point out, you know what I'm saying? I've already did it, you know what I'm saying, last week, I think it was, I don't know. But if you unalive an eagle, it's $100,000 fine and a year in prison. I just wanted to bring that up. That's their favorite bird, because the bird, that eagle is a predator, just like he is. Just like the white man, the devil that the Bible speak of is. You know what I'm saying? Verse 40. And not only that, he got satellites up there in heaven, you know what I'm saying, whatever. It got skyscrapers, because you got different levels of heaven. The birds are in heaven. They fly, that's considered heaven. You know what I'm saying? You got skyscrapers, you know what I'm saying? They like that, habitation is high. We're going to get to that too. You know what I'm saying? Verse 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live. Right? By the sword shalt thou live. The sword is your modern day gun. It's your modern day gun. And like I said, we have 6 individuals that we know of so far. They have been unalived by nooses. And I bet you, I put my money on it that I don't have that. None of them people, none of them kids under 30, you know what I'm saying? They was all under 30, you know what I'm saying, know how to make a noose. Bottom line. Do not know how to make a noose. You know? Bottom line. Let's say look on YouTube, maybe. You know, I mean, I wonder if, you know, they YouTube, you know, they censor how we speak. I wonder if they censor how to make a noose, you know, because they, you know, I'm pretty sure they don't because they're hypocrites. You know what I'm saying? Let's go, you know, type in planes crashing into the Twin Towers. You think that'll be censored. You know what I'm saying? Hypocrites. This is what they are. Devil that the Bible speak of. But anyways, let's go ahead and get some more of this. Speaking of Obadiah, let's go to Obadiah. The book of Obadiah. Like I said, if our people, so-called black, especially black people, you know what I'm saying? So-called black people, if they don't see this, they don't understand this, they don't believe this right here, it's because they just destroy, man. They just sleep, man. These are the people that don't understand this right here are the ones that are, you know, they come out the house with a MAGA hat on. Make America great hat on. Talk about let's make America great again. Like, nigga, all right, nigga, that means you're gonna be in picking cotton, nigga. You're gonna be in the fields, nigga, getting your back whipped. Like, that's how America became great. Like, for reals. They didn't, you know, they didn't play fair. That's why the other nations, they were like that. You see how long it took for them to play catch up to be able to get to their level, and they're still not on their level because they still, you got people from other countries still want to come over here. Crazy, man. Anyways, this is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, the only chapter, verse 1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom, so-called white people. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Verse 2, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. You know, every I brought this up before, but every other country, whatever, you know, as far as, you know, Asians, Arabs, you know, Africans, they have a name for the so-called white man in their language. They are greatly despised. Don't think these motherfuckers ain't, you know, they had that Asian broad in LA, man, the politician, whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? Was over there secretly, you know, what they call it, espionage, over there sending, you know, sensitive information about America to her country, China. You know what I'm saying? Look at what them fools did, crashing into Twin Towers. They came over here, learned how to fly planes in Florida, and went over there and crashed the Twin Towers. You know, they are greatly despised, man. Nobody likes them, man. No other nation likes them. They acting like they are. They act like they do, man. But they are loyal to where they come from, man. Even the Chinese, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, they out there, you know, you got 21% of Frisco Police Department, man. It's Chinese, Asian and shit. You know what I'm saying? But believe me, when shit hit the fan, nigga, they going back to their people. they gonna do what they gotta do to the white man or anybody else. Bottom line, they're not gonna sit there and be like back, you know, back to back with the white man. No, they're not. Bottom line, man. Get some act right, freaking Judites, so-called black people. Better wake up, man. Issachar, so-called Mexicans, Gadites, so-called natives. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line, y'all got to wake up, man. 12 lost tribes, man. Wake up. Gather yourselves together, old nation not desired. With the Dominicans, I'm not black. I'm not black. Nigga. Nigga, just nigga, all right. Go to a town, go to a little rural city in any Mississippi, Texas, nigga, Florida, whatever. And you gonna see that you black. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, you might be you gonna be trying to grab onto that noose. That's if they don't beat your ass first. You know what I'm saying? Where you just mingled, you know. Shit. This is what they do, man. I'm not black. I'm not black. It's terrible, man. What's Sammy Sosa? What is Sammy Sosa, man? Is he Dominican? You know what I'm saying? I don't think that nigga Dominican. Look at what he did. This nigga bleached his skin and they fired his ass. like they didn't want to be around this crazy looking nigga. Like, boss lucky. You know what I'm saying? This nigga trying to look like a white man. You know what I'm saying? They fired him right after he did that stupid shit. Sammy Sosa. You know what I'm saying? Like, peace out, nigga. Like, that's what they told that nigga. Like, with your pink skin. like terrible. You know what I'm saying? No, but you know, for real, man. No playing though. Let's get back to this shit. All right. And it said, you know, verse 2, behold, I have made thee smart. I'm slugging. You know, they are smart when they come together, you know, when it's time to come together to destroy the so-called black people and Latino people, they are smart. Like, they come together and destroy our asses. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Lucky. You know what I'm saying? Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. In which, you know, the last time it was years ago, but I think if I'm not mistaken, man, the white race is 2%. I think they're the smallest. Somebody correct me on this. I think they're the smallest of all the other nations. You know what I'm saying? They're 2% when they combine against to all the other nations. You know what I'm saying? They 2%, man. I think that was the number back in the day, man. 2%. It's not a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? Because Most High put, you know, blood will pursue thee. You know, they back before they came over here when they were fighting amongst themselves, medieval times and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like Queen Arthur, you know, fighting against, you know, all the, you know, their pagans and heathens and shit like that. They were calling, you know what I'm saying? They didn't even know who they were fighting, man. They all look the same and stuff like that. This is in history. You know, just look on, you know, what's that? History Channel. Man, they were, you know, all the blood, there was blood all over the place and stuff like that. Niggas, they didn't even know who they was killing. They was just chopping each other up. That's the Most High putting that spirit on them, man. He said, blood will pursue thee, you know, because they don't hate blood. Blood shall pursue thee. Yeah, look that up, man, on History Channel, man. Just look that up. They didn't even know who they was, because they looked the same. Like they had the same. They didn't even think to wear. Probably some of them would wear. You know, hey man, nigga, we gonna wear all red, nigga. So therefore, we gonna know who we are. You know what I'm saying? What have you? You know what I'm saying? But them fools all wearing brown and shit, like all wearing brown, like you know, like crazy. And then not only that, you got your adrenaline going. You know, you're scared, you're terrified. You just swinging that sword. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They over here chopping each other up. He chopping they chopped his brother up. Like, funny. It's some funny shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. But anyways, so verse 3, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Where they dwellest? In the cleft of the rock. Why is the so-called white man call himself Caucasian? The Caucasus Mountains, the Caucasus. I can never say that shit correctly. The Caucasus Mountains, you know, that's where he dwells. Caveman, you know, that's the clefts of the rocks. There's a cave. It's in a mountain. You know what I'm saying? And it says, whose habitation is high. Like, really, man, who in their right mind was that, hey, nigga, we're gonna build this skyscraper, man. This penthouse is gonna be hella far up, man. Hella far. Yeah, you know. Just think, if they didn't think like that, nigga, the Twin Towers would have never happened. I mean, they could have, you know what I'm saying? They could have just, went down just like they did the Pentagon. I think they tried to, come down on the Pentagon, right? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, those people wouldn't have never, jumped out. People jumping out of that window, man, like, because they was burning. It was so hot, jumping out of the window. They got the on Time magazine, what they got, the fallen man. Remember, he was in a, like in that position that he was in and stuff like that. Crazy, But the habitation is high, right? That saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Esau's pride. Who gonna mess with me? Who gonna bring me down to the ground? You know what I'm saying? You ever see a white dude, he drunk and shit like that? Think he Billy Badass, man. Billy Badass. Yeah, just like, man, I ain't gonna knock this nigga out. Just leave this fool alone. And they prideful. You know what I'm saying? Verse 3. Verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle. We already mentioned the eagle. And though thou set thy nest amongst the stars. The eagle has landed. You know what I'm saying? The moon's right there up there with the stars. Thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. The Lord said he's going to bring them down. Verse 5. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Without slugging, would they not have stolen till they had enough? Slug, let me read that from the top. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? You ever see the movies when so-called Gadites, so-called not so-called, but so-called Native Americans, Gad, white men, we got all this land. But white man wants all this land. You know what I'm saying? He wants it all. To the point to where they had Trail of Tears, you know what I'm saying, where they had to, take the so-called Native Americans, you know what I'm saying, off their land, move them down into Oklahoma and so on and so forth, because they wanted their land, like places like where they put the supposedly that was sacred, that was a sacred rock where Mount Rushmore, you know what I'm saying, where they had them 4 devils right there. You know what I'm saying? Esau's founding fathers, not ours. You know what I'm saying? They wanted all the nice shit. They wanted, it's lucky. This is what they do, man. They say, oh man, we gonna have to find a way how to get them up out of here. Trail of Tears, man. Unaliving our little babies, man, bashing them up against the tree, man. I ain't making this up. This is in history books. But we still got our people out there celebrating Thanksgiving. Want to love the Edomites, aka white people. You're going to be in everlasting contempt in the next world to come. All for some white folks that did some vile, heinous acts. Just think about it, man. Cunning. Talk about cunning, right? We said cunning. Esau's a cunning hunter, right? Cunning. He put smallpox on blankets and gave it to the people that taught them how to grow food. And you got Black folks, Latino folks, and natives, even natives, celebrating Thanksgiving. Still in the want to be friends. Would you be my friend? Everlasting contempt. That's what you're going to be in, man. Verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Now listen to this one right here, man. Verse 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. Who? I mean, I was just in Mississippi, man, in 2016, 2017. That was my first time there. That's my pops, his side from. My first time there. That's the first time I seen the Confederate flag. Straight up. First time. It was right there along with the other Confederate flag, that American flag. Straight Confederate flag right there, man, just blowing like it was nothing. Like it was nothing. Confederacy. They got the Confederate flag. Like I said, man, if you don't see this, but like I said, this is for someone out there that's trying to wake up, that's about to wake up, man. And hopefully they see this video sometime. Because we are, saying it's high time for us to wake up out of this deep sleep that we're in as a people, man. Bottom line. All right, let's go to Book of Joel. Book of Joel. Right here. Book of Joel, chapter 3. It's the book of Joel, chapter 3. So hopefully, like I said, man, people that if you come across this video right here, man, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, any of us, you know what I'm saying? We are here for the so-called Black, Latino, and natives, man, to wake you up from your deep sleep that you're in. The Most High put these prophets out here to wake you up, man. We are the prophets of the Lord. Waking our people up out of the highways and the byways, man. Bottom line. Using this thing called the internet, social media, because right now, like I said, it's high time, man. Satan has us just a short period of time, you know what I'm saying? The devil, the white man, the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speak of, you know what I'm saying? And that's why you look, this is the reason why you're able to go on here and have a platform now to be try to have your own little news, bring your little news out there. Now, I'm not knocking anybody that, you know what I'm saying? If you are in the truth and you're doing your news, you're doing the thing, you know who you are, but you got a lot of people out there, just men will be lovers of themselves. They want to, meaning the women too, you know what I'm saying? They just want to be on the camera and try to be, comedians and shit like that and be a commentator or what have you, you know what I'm saying? And this is all the time they spend putting they work into this instead of not, and it's a smoke screen, man. It's to blind you, it's to keep you, away from this truth. But there ain't nothing wrong with getting your money, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody getting their money too, being a streamer or what have you, I mean, you literally got streamers, man. All they do is they sitting there amongst people and drinking and partying. That's it. And they making money. And we got dumbasses actually watching this shit. I'm one of them sometimes. Just to see what they're, yeah, they capture me with the title or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, like Adrian Broner, I actually thought that nigga was about to, make a great comeback with his big ass stomach. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was gonna lose it. You know what I'm saying? But that nigga, that liquor in the system, he can't put the liquor down, man. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line, But yeah, Joel, Joel, never know how to pronounce that. Joel. I guess you could say it both ways. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. They're going to bring us out of captivity. You know what I'm saying? Verse 2, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Jehoshaphat, the valley of Jehoshaphat is in the Middle East. This is prophecy of World War III. They're gonna all gather, you know what I'm saying, what have you, and do their thing, man. It's starting already, you know, with the Ukraine, Iran, what have you. You know what I'm saying? Israel, Palestine, whatever. That's Valley of Jehoshaphat right there, man. And will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel. Not for the Jewish people over there, whom they have scattered. The Jewish people haven't been scattered among the nations. They haven't been scattered among the nations, right? And parted my land. They parted their land. How did they part the land? The Palestinians fighting for one part. The Jewish people, so-called Edomites, so-called white people, Jewish people, you know what I'm saying? They're imposters. Edomites, that's who they are. They're from the tribe of Amalek, a different tribe of Esau. That's all they are. They parted their land. They fight for their land. They've been fighting there for their land since they've been over there in 1948. You know, after the Balfour Act. You know what I'm saying? But let's see. Verse 3. And they have cast lots for my people. You know, they shot dice, cast lots, shooting dice, what have you, for my people, gambling for they, you know, for the people. You know what I'm saying? That's how comfortable they was, you know, dealing with the children of Esau. I mean, it's like the children of Israel. You know, I'm talking about Esau so much shit. You know what I'm saying? That shit slipped out. You know what I'm saying? Death to the children of Esau. But verse 3, let's start at from the top. And they have cast lots for the people, for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. This is what they did to our children, man. Like I said, on the auction blocks, they sold our kids, man. You know what I'm saying? And there was one, I forgot the name of this movie, man. You know, selling a boy for a harlot, man. It was based out of Louisiana, you know, where they had the Mardi Gras, you know, the disgusting, vile shit, you know what I'm saying, that they do. You know what I'm saying? You know, the French, you know, they took, you know, that was their land at one point, right? You know, that's why you got Creole and all that stuff. They speak French, right? You know what I'm saying? They were able to inherit that land right there. But they had little black boys, I forgot what the name of the movie, but they put them just like they have the Mardi Gras chains, the gold and the green and all that stuff, purple, whatever. They had them painted. They were all painted. You know, little boys, they were naked and stuff, dancing and stuff. And there was a little midget. It was a black midget, you know what I'm saying, with the top hat. You know what I'm saying? He was already directing traffic. And the white men, they was, you know, just, you know, and you know what they were doing? But the little kids was dancing and the little boys was dancing. So the boy for a harlot, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, giving a boy for a harlot. You know, harlot, what is a harlot? Fornication, man. Wicked, you know, fornication. That's what it is. Sexual fornication, man. You know what I'm saying? And this is what they were doing, man. I forgot what movie that was called, man. Yeah. But verse 4. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon? Tyre, that was an ancient city. All right. Right there by Jerusalem, right in Jerusalem, right? You know what I'm saying? Now remember, you know what I'm saying? You got Egypt right there. It's like 2 days to walk from Egypt. Egypt is on the what? The continent. Jerusalem is connected to the continent of Africa. You know what I'm saying? And you got a lot of dumbass people out there that think, oh, Egypt's not in Africa. Yeah, nigga, it's right there. It's northeast. Right there on the corner, and right above it is Jerusalem, Israel, you know, right there. You know what I'm saying? But Tyre was an ancient city, you know, in that region, right? And they were known for commerce. You know, it was a place. We gonna read it right now. You know, it was they did trade and stuff, everything from gold to trees to even people. You know, we're gonna read that, you know what I'm saying? And Sidon it's also Sidon. Those the same people. Those are people. That's the so-called Africans. That's who they are. As a matter of fact, let's get that Tyree real quick. You know, that's in let's go to Ezekiel 27. Ezekiel 27. Hold Joe. We're gonna go to Ezekiel 27 right quick. He's in there somewhere. Where you at? Ezekiel 27 and verse 1. We're gonna start at verse 1. The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, verse 2. Now, thou son of man, take up a lamentation for Tyrus. That's Tyrus. Verse 3. And say unto Tyrus, O thou that art situated at the entry of the sea. They were right there by the sea. Right? They're on the coast of the sea, you know, right there. Which art a merchant of the people for many isles. Isles is pretty much a country, you know, countries, many isles, countries and stuff like that. Because that's what they did. They did commerce, they did you know, trade and stuff like that. What happened? You know what I'm saying? Thus saith the Lord God of Tyrus, thou hast said, I am of perfect beauty. You know, like a system, you know, like I don't know if they said that in New Jack City. Remember when you know, when they first came, you know, the Brother Man, what was his name? Gutter Man or whatever, you know, and G Money and Nino, you know what I'm saying? When they came together and talked about their little operation with the crack and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? You know, G Money was like pure genius, you know what I'm saying? You know, they I don't know, I don't know why that came to my mind, but they'd be like, hey man, this is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? This operation is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? The operation that they had right here, that's, you know, it was just beautiful. You know what I'm saying? They said they were you know what I'm saying, a perfect beauty. That's what it's meaning. That's what it means. You know what I'm saying? This operation was beautiful, man. You know? But let's skip down to verse 13. Javan, Tubal, and Meshach, they were thy merchants. You know what I'm saying? These are people they were dealing with, places they were dealing with, right? You know what I'm saying? People in places they were dealing with. They traded the persons of men. What does that mean? They were dealing with slavery, human slavery. Traded the persons of men. This is what they were doing. This is what they were doing over there in Tyre. You know what I'm saying? And let's go back to what else? Where were we at? Joel. Let's go back to Joel. So this is what Tyre was. It was an ancient city, right? And that's what they did. They traded commerce and all that stuff, right? And slaves. This is what they did, right? You know what I'm saying? So let's get it. Let's start it from verse 4. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon? Like I said, Zidon is the so-called Africans. They so-called Africans. Zidon. Let's get it in the Bible dictionary. Well, first of all, let's go to Zidon. Let's see who Zidon is. We got to find out who Zidon is, right? Let's go to Genesis 10. Let's go to Genesis 10. And then we're going to go to the dictionary to see who Zidon is, or Sidon. Genesis 10. We're going to hold that. We're going to hold Joel 3. This is Genesis 10. We're going to start at verse 6. And the sons of Ham, Cush, and Mizraim, and Put, and Canaan. These are the sons of Ham, all right? And out of these sons came various tribes, a lot of different tribes, man. Let's jump down to 15, verse 15. And Canaan begat Sidon, his firstborn. Canaan, so one of Ham's sons, Canaan, begat that was his son. He had Sidon, aka Zidon. All right. Now we're gonna go back to Joel. Now we're gonna go to the Zondervan's Bible Dictionary. All right. And this is Ham. This is the definition of Ham. We found out in Genesis 10 that Ham was the progenitors of Mizraim, which is Egypt, Canaan, you know what I'm saying, and so on and so forth. But we're gonna find out who we're gonna get more depth into who Ham is. This is the Zondervan's Bible Dictionary, right? Ham, the youngest son of Noah. Remember, Noah had Shem, Ham, and Japheth. We come from Shem, so-called Black, Latinos, and natives. Even Esau comes from Shem. Even East Indians come from Shem. I think Asians come from Shem as well. You know what I'm saying? They come from Shem as well. But there was only one seed chosen out of Shem, and that was Israelites. From Isaac, Jacob, you know what I'm saying? Isaac and Jacob. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. All right. The youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor, the father, of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, the Ethiopians, the Libyans, and Canaanites, aka Canaan. So now we know these are Africans, these are Hamites, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this is for the wise. The wise, the people with wisdom that hasn't heard this yet. You know what I'm saying? This ain't for us stupid Negroes out there. You know what I'm saying? The ones that want to stay asleep. Go ahead and stay asleep, man. We ain't got time for y'all, man. We waking up our people out here that want to be waking up. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, let's go back to Joel. So now we got that right. We got that out of the way. We know who Zidon and Tyre is an ancient place, right? You know what I'm saying? Let's go from the top again. Verse 4. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Philistine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head. Verse 5, because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly, pleasant things. Verse 6, the children also of Judah, so-called black people, and the children of Jerusalem, everybody else, you know what I'm saying? The Latin and Gadites, you know, the Gad, you know, so-called natives, have ye sold unto the Grecians. Hey, the Grecians, you know who the Grecians are? Greeks. Okay, that ye might remove them far from their border. There you go with the transatlantic slave trade right there. That's the transatlantic slave trade right there. The Grecians. And if you need more information, let's see who the Grecians are. Let's see something. You know what I'm saying? Because it was the British, right? That eventually brought us over here into slavery, right? Okay. Look, check this out. Now, and they are one and the same. They just have in their tribes, you know what I'm saying? Just like Ham, they have so many different tribes in their hand. You see, they had the Egyptians, the Libyans, the Canaanites, the Ethiopians, you know what I'm saying? But they're all from the son of Ham. They're all sons of Ham. You know what I'm saying? Same with the Esau, same with the Edomites. You know, the Grecians, you had the Romans, and then they broke off, became the Britons, the Germans. You know, there was Germanic at first, you know what I'm saying? The Irish, Italians, Swedish, they were but they're all from Esau. Let's read this right here. You know what I'm saying? For the Grecians, they sold us and the Arabs had their hand in it too. You know what I'm saying? That place, that ancient city, the Tyrus, you know what I'm saying? The Arabs is over there. They were over there, you know what I'm saying? Boom. You know what I'm saying? Doing a little commerce and stuff like that. Remember, they all brought us into captivity. They all rounded us up and brought us into captivity, man, because they all know who we are. This is the Grecians, right? They sold us to the Grecians, right? This is this is the Greek word. Well, the Greek language, right? According to estimates by the British Council, more than 150,000 English words are derived from Greek. I mean, shit. English words, 150,000 words are derived from Greek. Like I said, they the same people, man. They saying they do they not all call themselves Europeans? Where's the British at? British, British, you know, England, UK, whatever. They call themselves European. Where the Greece, they call themselves European. Just different tribes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't even have to read any more of that, man. You know what I'm saying? But 30% of English vocabulary is from, you know, Latin. Latin is a derivative of Greek, Latin, Greek, all the same. You know what I'm saying? Where's the Spaniards? They speak Latin. That's how you so-called Mexicans and Puerto Ricans and Dominicans and who else, you know, speak that Latin shit. You know, Zebulon, Asher, you know what I'm saying? You know, so on and so forth. Whoever speak Latin, you get it from the other Europeans called Spaniards. That's where you get it from. That's where you get your last names from. The conquistadors. Trying to wake y'all up, man. Trying to wake y'all up. But anyways, it's just more history for you, you know. So yeah, so you know, that was verse 6 right there, right? You know what I'm saying? You were sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. And they did just that. We are not from over here in this place right here, man. Yeah, the other tribes, they came over here. You know, they got over here. They was able to leave Assyrian captivity, and they came over here, and that's why they built the pyramids. You know what I'm saying? Over there in Mexico. You know what I'm saying? That's why you can find artifacts and stuff like that of a shield of David. You know what I'm saying? You feel me, King David? You know, and so on and so forth, man. You know, there's so much history out there, man. But like I said, this is for the wise, man. This is for the people that want to wake up and learn. You know, because we gonna have some dumbass people out there. Our people they just don't want to stay asleep. Why? Because they want to commit sin. They want to be in the dark. Remember, the Most High said in Isaiah 45:7, I create the dark. I create light. I create darkness. I create peace. I make evil. You know what I'm saying? I, the Lord, do all those things. If you want to continue on staying in that dark, go ahead, man. But I you know, I want you to come up out of this mess, man. You know, just like all of us, you know. But it says something else in the Bible, but we don't teach it. You know, we ain't gonna teach it. Let them other niggas teach that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, I think Paul said, I'm paraphrasing, you know what I'm saying? That the all Israel shall be saved. You know what I'm saying? I forgot, man, it slipped my mind. But let's go to I'm about to wrap it up. Let's stay in Joel. You know what I'm saying? Because you know this part is deep right here. We're gonna stay in 3, verse 19. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 19. Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness, for the violence against the children of Judah. Remember, I told you that the Hamites had a hand in our captivity, and Esau. You know what I'm saying? They weren't able to penetrate them the bushes and all that stuff. They would have died of diseases and stuff. Esau would have. They needed guides to take them in there and stuff like that. All the stuff, all the dangerous stuff's in there. You know what I'm saying? They weren't able to just come in there and just take us. You know what I'm saying? Bottom line, they needed help from Hamites, so-called Africans. You know, but let's read it from the top. Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. This is what they did to us, man. Verse 20, but Judah shall dwell forever, and Jerusalem, Judah and Jerusalem, the other tribes of Israel, and Jerusalem from generation to generation. Verse 21, for I will cleanse their blood that I have not cleansed, for the Lord dwelleth in Zion. Zion is another name for Israel, man. Zion is a place named for Israel, you know, synonymous with Israel. All right, let's go to Malachi. Let's wrap this up right quick. Book of Malachi. Let's go to the book of Malachi, chapter 1, verse 1. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. Verse 2, I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith the Lord, yet I love Jacob. Verse 3, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. That's what's the Black Plague. You know what I'm saying? There was times when, that's when King James, so-called, black man, he got, the scriptures, the scrolls, what have you, you know what I'm saying, and translated into English in 1611. You know what I'm saying? That's when they were all dying off from the Black Plague, man, from all their diseases, man, because they was living like, they are heathens. They were living heathenistically, if that's a word, you know what I'm saying? Being vile, man. They didn't know where to put they feces and stuff like that, just throwing it out and just rats everywhere and stuff like that. That's how they got their diseases, man. The Black Plague, man. And they were dying out. We weren't dying from there. We were over there at that time. Remember, they called us Moors. You know what I'm saying? Another derogatory term, which means black. Even the Arabs back in the day, man, they were called Moors as well. But they're not known as Moors up to date. You know what I'm saying? That's in history books as well. Look at Ishmael's first son name was Kedar, which means black. But they did what? They mixed with other nations that was light. You know what I'm saying? Like Alexander the Greek and stuff like that. This is what they were doing. They were mixing. That's what Arab means. Arab means mixture in the Hebrew. But they laid their heritage to waste, right? You know what I'm saying? And mountains and his heritage, the mountains, mountains, they love to live in the mountains. They come from the Caucasus Mountains. And his heritage waste for the dragons. Who always make Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. They love dragons. You know what I'm saying? Esau. You know what I'm saying? That's just, it's just we don't be making no movies about no dragons. You know what I'm saying? What, The Last Dragon? You know what I'm saying? With Bruce Leroy, what have you? But verse 4, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. This is what they say, because they prideful, right? Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness. Is not this place the border of wickedness? Wherever they go, man, this is their place. This is wherever Edom goes, that's their place, man. This is where they live, man. Wherever they go, man, it's the border of Esau, man. This place is wicked, man. From all outdoors, man, it's wicked, upside down, confusion, you know. But keep going. And the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. He hate them forever. Now, if you I mean, just take one people. If your life depended on it, be like, man, if God hated the people, what one people with all the, the people that out here, Asians, East Indians, whatever. What people would you pick? Be like, man, if God hated the people, what people would you pick? I'm pretty sure everybody, if your life depended on it, everybody will pick the white people. Hands down. Hands down. Bottom line. Come on, man. Don't be in denial here, Let's get to the last one, because like I said, the Christian church, if you went into the Christian church, man, the so-called, black Christian church, man, you tell them about Obadiah, you read Obadiah to them, they be like, no, that's not what that means. No, that's not them. No, man, Esau is gone. We don't know who they are. You know what I'm saying? They say all that just to say they're oppressor, just say they illegitimate daddy, because they are they suffer from post-traumatic slave disorder, Stockholm syndrome, what have you. We're gonna go to Isaiah, man, because Christ knows that they still here. He knows. Let's go to Isaiah 63. Isaiah 63. Starting at 1. And this book right here is titled The Day of Vengeance. This is what it's titled. Christian church would be like, black church, Christian black church. Like, no, man, that's not what that means. Oh, that's the Old Testament. You know what I'm saying? They say that. But this is the day of vengeance. Christ is coming back. How's he coming back? Matthew 10:34. He's coming back with a sword. Put the puzzles together, man. This is a book of Isaiah, chapter 23, 63, verse 23, man. Back in the day, when we were a code for the white people, we say 23rd. Hey, man, them 23rds over there be tripping. You know what I'm saying? That's what we call it, 23, because it's the 23rd letter is W, white, right? White people, right? W, white. W, right? You know what I'm saying? White folks, right? They'll be like, hey, man, them 23rds be tripping, man. 23rds, man. You know what I'm saying? That's probably why I said 23. I don't know. It's the spirit. This is a book of Isaiah, chapter 63, verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom? Coming from Edom, like I said, wherever the so-called white people is, where they are, that's Edom, man. That's who they are. Because watch, this is watch who this is right here. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments? From Basra. Basra was an old place, place back in the day, in the biblical days where Edom was, right? From Basra. This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Yahushua, that's the Jesus who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. Jesus, Yahushua is his name in Hebrew, ancient name. It means savior. Like it said right here, mighty to save. Even Jesus in the Greek, it means savior. Look it up. Save, savior, save. You know what I'm saying? He is mighty to save. So now we know this is Christ. This is talking about Christ right here. Verse 2. Wherefore? This is what they ask. Why? Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel? Is it why you wear? Why is you red in your apparel, man? And he said, and thy garments like him that treadeth in wine fats. Yeah, so why, man, why it look like you've been treading, you've been stepping on wine in the grapes, red grapes, and what have you. This is what he said, right? He said, verse 3, I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them in mine anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. I mean, do I really have to break that down? That's self-explanatory. Verse 4, for the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. That's Christ. This is what he's coming back for. So, like I said, the Christian church will tell you they don't know who Edom is, but Christ does. With that, we'll say, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shabrak thumb to the brothers, Yahweh Shemar Allah thumb Ba'Shem Yahweh to the sisters. Shalom, Israel.